Welcome to Life Lessons. In today's busy and stressful world, we are often caught up in the pursuit of happiness through achievements, fame, or material possessions. We believe that attaining a high position at work, owning a big house, or receiving recognition from others will naturally lead to happiness. But is this truly the path to inner peace? Have you ever achieved what you longed for, only to feel empty? Or when facing difficulties, wondered why joy seems so elusive despite all you have? The truth is, lasting happiness does not arise from external circumstances but from how we understand and cherish our inner world. In this video, we will explore the profound secrets of Buddhist teachings, principles that have endured for thousands of years, transcending time, space, and culture. These are not just philosophical ideas but practical guides to help you find balance within, face challenges calmly, and unlock the door to genuine happiness. We'll share 5 essential Buddhist principles, from practicing mindfulness in every moment, learning to let go of attachments, cultivating compassion, and embracing the impermanence of life. These principles not only bring peace to your own heart but also foster meaningful relationships and spread joy to those around you. Let us begin this meaningful journey together. You don't need to change your entire life or give up what you have. Sometimes, a small shift in perspective is enough to open up a whole new world within you. If you are searching for answers to a happier, more peaceful life, you've come to the right place. Let us discover, learn, and practice these invaluable lessons from Buddhist philosophy together. Remember, happiness always begins from within. Welcome to the journey of finding true peace and happiness with Life Lessons. Part 1. The importance of happiness and inner peace in Buddhist teachings. In Buddhist teachings, happiness is not defined by material possessions or external achievements. Instead, it is viewed as an inner state, the result of a deep understanding of oneself and the world. The Buddha taught that only when the mind is at peace can one truly experience happiness. This peace is not dependent on external conditions but stems from how we think, act, and interact with the world. 1. Happiness does not come from material accumulation. One of the fundamental teachings of Buddhism is the concept of impermanence, anicca. Wealth, fame, and material pleasures are temporary, and relying on them for happiness leads to disappointment. The Buddha told the story of a man who worked tirelessly to accumulate gold and silver, believing it would bring security. Yet, as his wealth grew, so did his anxiety and fear of losing it. Buddhism encourages us to let go of attachment to material things and instead focus on nurturing the mind. When we stop seeking happiness through possessions and embrace the impermanent nature of life, we find that life becomes lighter and more joyful. 2. Transforming perception, seeing the world and ourselves clearly. True happiness arises from right understanding, samadhi, one of the Eightfold Path's elements. This means learning to view the world not through the lens of desire, envy, or greed but with understanding and compassion. When facing challenges, instead of blaming circumstances, Buddhism teaches us to look deeply into the nature of the problem. Negative emotions like anger or frustration often arise from unrealistic expectations or attachment to things beyond our control. Understanding this allows us to let go and attain tranquility. 3. Principles for achieving inner peace and happiness. Here are some important principles from Buddhist teachings that help us achieve lasting inner peace and happiness. A. Mindfulness. Mindfulness is the ability to be fully aware of the present moment without being affected by anxiety or regret. The Buddha emphasized that we truly live only when we are present in the moment. For instance, when eating, focus on the flavors of the food; when walking, feel each step. Mindfulness not only reduces stress but also enhances our ability to enjoy life's simple pleasures. B. Compassion. Compassion is the capacity to understand and empathize with others' suffering and to act to alleviate it. According to Buddhism, compassion is not only the key to building meaningful relationships but also a path to deep inner peace. By helping others, we not only ease their pain but also enrich our own souls. C. Letting go. Buddhism teaches that clinging to things we cannot control, such as fame, wealth, or even relationships, is a major cause of suffering. Learning to let go does not mean giving up everything but freeing ourselves from attachment and possessiveness. D. Contentment. Being content with what we have is an essential quality emphasized in Buddhism. When we appreciate the small things in life, we no longer feel deprived or dissatisfied. This brings not only serenity but also helps us build a balanced and happy life. E. Impermanence. Accepting that everything in life changes is a vital step toward peace. Whether it's sorrow or joy, nothing lasts forever. Understanding this helps us let go of the fear of loss and cherish the present moment more deeply. We will delve deeper into these 5 principles in Part 2. 4. Facing challenges with calmness. One of the greatest benefits of applying Buddhist principles is the ability to face challenges without being shaken. Buddhism teaches that life is a series of experiences, both joys and sorrows. Instead of avoiding difficulties, we should see them as opportunities to grow. When encountering hardships, practice mindfulness to steady your mind, compassion to treat yourself and others gently, and letting go to avoid being trapped in negative emotions. Finding peace during challenging times is a hallmark of a resilient soul. 5. The journey to finding happiness from within. Buddhist teachings affirm that anyone can achieve happiness and inner peace, regardless of their circumstances. The key lies in changing how we perceive and experience life. By living according to these principles, not only does our soul become lighter, but the world around us transforms positively. As the Buddha once said, "Happiness does not depend on what you have but on how you think." Begin your journey to finding happiness from within today. Even small steps can lead to profound changes. 1. Mindfulness in Buddhist teachings. Mindfulness, Pali, Sati, Sanskrit, Sati, is one of the core teachings of Buddhism, as outlined in the Noble Eightfold Path, the path to liberation and enlightenment. Mindfulness is not merely the awareness of what is happening around us but the ability to be fully present in the moment, living with clear awareness without being swept away by thoughts, emotions, or judgments. In today's fast-paced world, we are often consumed by worries about the future or regrets about the past. We dwell on unmet goals, fear what is yet to come, or feel burdened by past mistakes. This constant mental unrest prevents us from enjoying the present moment. The Buddha taught that only by living mindfully can we free ourselves from these constraints and discover true happiness. The meaning of mindfulness in Buddhism. Mindfulness is the non-judgmental awareness of all present experiences, including thoughts, emotions, and actions. This doesn't mean suppressing thoughts or feelings but observing them calmly without attachment. The Buddha emphasized that mindfulness is the foundation of wisdom. Through mindfulness, we not only become aware of the world around us but also gain insight into the impermanence, anicca, and non-self, anatta, of all things. This understanding helps us release attachments and achieve lasting peace and happiness. The benefits of mindfulness. 1. Reduces stress and anxiety. Focusing on the present moment prevents us from being overwhelmed by negative thoughts about the future or past. This creates a peaceful and calm mind. 2. Enhances focus. Mindfulness improves concentration on daily tasks and activities. Instead of rushing, we can perform tasks with full attention, increasing both quality and efficiency. 3. Cultivates inner happiness. Happiness isn't found in external conditions but in how we perceive and experience the present moment. Mindfulness creates mental space where joy can flourish. 4. Helps manage emotions. By observing emotions without judgment, we learn to respond calmly and wisely rather than being controlled by negative feelings. How to practice mindfulness. 1. Mindfulness in meditation. Meditation is the most common way to practice mindfulness. During meditation, we focus on the breath, noticing each inhalation and exhalation naturally. If the mind starts to wander, we gently redirect our attention to the breath without self-criticism. 2. Mindfulness in daily life. Mindfulness extends beyond meditation into everyday activities. For example, while eating, notice the taste, color, and texture of the food. While walking, feel each step on the ground and listen to the sounds around you. During conversations, listen attentively without merely waiting for your turn to speak. 3. Observing thoughts and emotions. When a thought or emotion arises, pause and observe it instead of reacting immediately. Ask yourself, is this thought necessary? Where does this emotion stem from? This practice helps you understand yourself better and avoid being overwhelmed by negativity. Challenges in practicing mindfulness and how to overcome them. 1. Distracted mind. At first, you may notice your mind often wandering. This is normal. Be patient and gently bring your attention back to the present moment. 2. Impatience. Mindfulness is a skill that takes time to develop. Remember, every small step contributes to progress. 3. Attachment to results. Avoid expecting immediate peace from mindfulness. Instead, focus on the practice, and the results will naturally follow. Mindfulness, the key to unlocking happiness. Mindfulness is a precious gift from Buddhist teachings, allowing us to live fully in each moment. Through mindfulness, worries about the future and regrets about the past dissolve, making way for peace and joy. As the Buddha said, "The past is already gone, the future is not yet here. There is only one moment for you to live, and that is the present moment." Start practicing mindfulness today, and you will experience a profound transformation in your inner self. 2. Letting go in Buddhist teachings. Letting go, Visagga in Pali, is one of the core principles in Buddhist teachings, guiding individuals to overcome suffering and achieve inner peace. The Buddha taught that clinging, tanha, to material possessions, emotions, or the self, is the primary cause of suffering. Learning to let go not only liberates us from mental burdens but also opens the door to true happiness. Letting go does not mean giving up everything or living a detached life. Instead, it is the release of mental attachments to expectations, anger, and unnecessary fixations. This is a journey each person must undertake to find spiritual freedom. The meaning of letting go in Buddhism. In Buddhist teachings, everything in life is impermanent, anicca, from material wealth and fame to relationships. By clinging to things that cannot last, we create our own suffering. Letting go is about accepting reality and living harmoniously with the ever-changing nature of life. It is not indifference but the understanding that we cannot control everything. When we stop forcing things to conform to our desires, we feel lighter and freer. Benefits of letting go. 1. Reduces suffering and stress. Clinging to expectations or negative emotions only causes pain. Letting go frees the mind from these pressures, bringing inner peace. 2. Strengthens relationships. Attachment often leads us to place unrealistic expectations on others, resulting in disappointment and conflict. By letting go, we learn to love and accept people as they are, rather than forcing them to fit our ideals. 3. Cultivates inner happiness. Happiness does not come from having more but from needing less. Letting go of unnecessary desires allows us to find joy in life's simple pleasures. 4. Helps cope with loss. Life inevitably involves loss, whether of small possessions or loved ones. Letting go does not eliminate pain but helps us accept reality with greater ease. What to let go of? 1. Letting go of expectations. Expectations are the root of much suffering. We often expect life to go as planned or others to behave as we wish. However, reality rarely aligns with these expectations. The Buddha taught that by releasing expectations, we can avoid disappointment and anger when things don't go our way. 2. Letting go of anger and resentment. Anger is like a fire that burns the one who holds it before harming others. Buddhism teaches that instead of clinging to resentment, we should practice compassion, metta, and forgiveness. Forgiveness not only liberates others but also frees ourselves. 3. Letting go of the ego. The ego often makes us cling to ideas like, I am right, I am superior, or I need recognition. These attachments distance us from truth and create conflict. Learning to let go of the ego fosters humility and harmony. How to practice letting go. 1. Meditation. Meditation is an effective way to practice letting go. During meditation, observe your thoughts and emotions as they come and go, without clinging to or judging them. Realize that everything is temporary and does not truly belong to you. 2. Practice compassion and forgiveness. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting the pain but releasing yourself from the prison of anger. Focus on compassion and recognize that everyone makes mistakes. 3. Accept reality. Train yourself to see life as it is, rather than as you want it to be. Acceptance does not mean giving up, it is a profound understanding that we cannot control everything. 4. Simplify your life. Let go of unnecessary material desires. Instead of chasing wealth and fame, appreciate what you already have and find joy in simplicity. Challenges in letting go and how to overcome them. 1. Fear of loss. We often fear that letting go will mean losing something valuable. However, the truth is, only by letting go can we recognize what truly matters. 2. Clinging mind. In the beginning, the mind will constantly remind you of what you are trying to let go of. Be patient and remember that letting go is a process, not an immediate event. Letting go for true happiness. Letting go is the key to happiness and freedom. The Buddha once said, letting go is the way to gain everything. When you let go, you are no longer afraid of losing anything, for nothing can truly leave you. Learning to let go is not easy, but each small step on this journey brings peace and happiness. Start by letting go of one small thing today, and you will find life lighter and more meaningful. 3. Compassion in Buddhist teachings. Compassion, karuna in Pali, is one of the core qualities in Buddhist teachings, seen as the guiding light that helps individuals transcend suffering and find true happiness. Compassion is not just love, but also the ability to understand the pain of oneself and others, which sparks the desire to help without expecting anything in return. The Buddha taught that when compassion spreads, it not only heals others' souls but also brings tranquility and inner peace to ourselves. This is not a sign of weakness but spiritual strength, helping us overcome selfishness and the ego to live a more meaningful life. The meaning of compassion in Buddhist teachings. Buddhism encourages the development of compassion through understanding the nature of suffering, dukkha. The Buddha taught that all beings experience suffering, and when we realize that others' pain is as deep as our own, compassion naturally arises. Compassion goes beyond feeling, it is the motivation to act in ways that alleviate suffering. It is viewed as an expression of wisdom because, when we understand the impermanence, anicca, and interconnectedness of all beings, we recognize that helping others is also helping ourselves. Underscore 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 underscore. Benefits of compassion. 1. Brings inner tranquility. When we treat ourselves and others with compassion, we free ourselves from anger, hatred, and jealousy. This leads to a calm and peaceful mind. 2. Strengthens relationships. Compassion creates understanding and deep connections between people. When you act with compassion, those around you can feel your sincerity and love, building stronger and more enduring relationships. 3. Reduces stress and improves health. Modern research has shown that compassion can reduce stress levels, lower blood pressure, and improve mental health. Living with compassion heals both the body and mind. 4. Nurtures inner happiness. When you give love without expecting anything in return, you experience deep joy. This happiness does not depend on external circumstances but comes from inner contentment. Practicing compassion in life. 1. Start with yourself. Buddhism teaches that you cannot love others if you do not love yourself. Learn to forgive your own mistakes and accept yourself as you are. Do not criticize or compare yourself to others, treat yourself with kindness and compassion. 2. Practice compassion with others. When you see someone suffering, listen to them sincerely and without judgment. Whenever possible, take action to ease their difficulties, even if it's just offering kind words or a small gesture. 3. Loving kindness meditation, metta bhavana. Loving kindness meditation is an effective method to cultivate compassion. Sit in meditation, focus on your breath, and repeat phrases like, "May I be happy. May all beings be free from suffering and find peace." Over time, you will feel compassion growing in your heart. 4. Face difficult people with compassion. Compassion is not only for those we love but also for those who make life difficult. Instead of responding with negativity, try to see them with understanding, recognizing that they too have their own suffering. Challenges in developing compassion and how to overcome them. 1. Fear of being exploited. Many people fear that showing compassion may lead to being taken advantage of. However, compassion does not mean accepting all unreasonable demands. Love wisely and maintain balance in your life. 2. Difficulty in forgiveness. Forgiveness is a crucial part of compassion, but it is not always easy. Remember that forgiveness does not mean forgetting or excusing wrong actions, it is about freeing yourself from bitterness and suffering. 3. Ego attachment. The ego often makes it hard to open our hearts to others. Focus on the inherent interconnectedness of all beings and realize that compassion benefits both others and ourselves. Compassion, the path to happiness and peace. The Buddha once said, "Conquering thousands of armies is not as great as conquering oneself." And the best way to conquer the ego is through the practice of compassion. Start practicing compassion today, with even the smallest acts like a smile, a kind word, or a heartfelt wish for others' well-being. When you give love, not only will you help alleviate the world's suffering, but you will also receive profound peace and happiness within your soul. 4. Contentment in Buddhist teachings. Contentment, santuthi in Pali, is a crucial concept in Buddhist teachings, signifying the practice of being satisfied and content with what we have. It is the key to overcoming dissatisfaction and suffering caused by greed and comparison. The Buddha taught that true happiness does not lie in having more, but in needing less. When we live with contentment, our minds become calm, undisturbed by the constant desires and cravings that pull us in different directions. Contentment is not about abandoning all dreams or aspirations but is rather about accepting and appreciating what is present in our lives. It is a mental state that frees us from the attachment to expectations, helping us find happiness in the present moment. The meaning of contentment in Buddhist teachings. According to the Buddha, the root cause of suffering, dukkha, is attachment and endless desire, tanha. People often feel dissatisfied because they constantly believe they need something more to be happy, a better job, a bigger house, or a perfect relationship. However, even when they achieve these things, they still feel empty because desire has no end. Contentment teaches us to recognize the value of what we already have, instead of focusing on what we lack. When we live with contentment, not only do we alleviate suffering, but we also cultivate gratitude and inner peace. Benefits of practicing contentment. 1. Reduces stress and anxiety. Constant desire and the pursuit of unrealistic goals weigh heavily on the mind, causing stress. Contentment helps you stop this endless race and find peace within. 2. Cultivates gratitude. When you learn to be content with what you have, you realize that life is already abundant. This brings forth gratitude, allowing you to appreciate every moment and the simple things around you. 3. Frees the mind from comparison. Comparison with others is a major source of dissatisfaction. Living with contentment means no longer getting caught up in comparisons, but rather focusing on your own life. 4. Strengthens relationships. Contentment helps you stop placing unrealistic expectations on others, leading to stronger, more sustainable relationships based on mutual acceptance and respect. Practicing contentment in daily life. 1. Recognize the impermanence of all things. Buddhism emphasizes that all things are impermanent, anicca, and nothing lasts forever. Understanding this helps you accept that what you have now is enough because it cannot bring eternal happiness. 2. Avoid unnecessary material desires. The Buddha taught that desire is the root of suffering. Before pursuing material wants, ask yourself, is this truly necessary? 3. Meditation and mindfulness. Meditation helps you focus on the present, appreciating the beauty and value of what you have instead of worrying about what you haven't achieved yet. 4. Practice gratitude. Take time each day to reflect on the things you're grateful for, whether it's health, a roof over your head, or the people you love. Gratitude is the foundation of contentment. 5. Simplify your life. Focus on what truly matters and eliminate distractions. A simpler life will help you feel more content with what you have. Challenges and how to overcome them when practicing contentment. 1. Societal pressure. Modern society often values people based on what they own, which can make you feel lacking if you don't meet those standards. Remember, true value lies not in material possessions but in the state of your mind. 2. The habit of comparison. Comparing yourself to others is natural, but it is also the source of dissatisfaction. Focus on your own journey and remember that each person's circumstances are different. 3. Fear of being seen as unambitious. Contentment doesn't mean giving up all goals. It's about setting meaningful goals and not becoming obsessed with achieving them. Work hard, but also learn to be content with what you've accomplished. Contentment, the path to happiness and peace. The Buddha once said, "The rich are not those who have the most, but those who know enough." Contentment is a profound lesson in Buddhist teachings that helps individuals find lasting happiness. When you live with contentment, you not only reduce suffering but also discover the true richness of life. Start practicing contentment today by appreciating what you have and stopping the chase for unnecessary things. When your mind is no longer bound by greed, you will realize that happiness is always within your reach. 5. Impermanence, anicca, in Buddhist teachings. Impermanence, anicca in Pali, is one of the 3 marks of existence in Buddhist teachings, alongside suffering, dukkha, and non-self, anatta. The Buddha taught that everything in the universe is subject to change, from the human body, emotions, and thoughts to external objects. Nothing is permanent or everlasting. Understanding impermanence is not a pessimistic reminder but a profound truth that helps us grasp the nature of life. When we accept impermanence, we learn to appreciate the present moment and let go of attachments to things that do not belong to us. The meaning of impermanence in Buddhist teachings. The Buddha taught that suffering, dukkha, arises from attachment, tanha, the desire for things to remain as we wish. However, all things are constantly changing. A flower will wither, a breeze will fade, and our lives are no exception. Impermanence applies not only to negative things but also to positive experiences. This does not mean denying joy but rather understanding that all experiences are finite. Recognizing impermanence helps us live more harmoniously with reality instead of resisting it. Benefits of accepting impermanence. 1. Reduces suffering. When you accept that everything changes, you become less hurt by loss or upheavals. Sadness and disappointment become natural parts of life, not something to escape or resist. 2. Enhances appreciation of the present. Knowing that beautiful moments will pass, you learn to savor them fully. A sunset, a conversation, or a smile becomes precious when you realize their fleeting nature. 3. Encourages flexibility. Accepting impermanence helps you adapt to changes in life. When things don't go as expected, you can let go and move forward instead of clinging to what is lost. 4. Cultivates compassion and understanding. Recognizing that everyone, including yourself, experiences change and loss fosters greater empathy for others. Practicing impermanence in daily life. 1. Observe change around you. Take time to notice changes in nature, how the weather shifts, a flower blooms and fades, or how day turns into night. These reminders teach us that everything has its cycle. 2. Accept loss. When you lose something, instead of resisting or grieving excessively, remind yourself that loss is inevitable. This doesn't mean you can't feel sadness, but rather that you don't let it control you. 3. Focus on the present. Mindfulness is an effective way to practice impermanence. When you are fully present, you realize that this moment is all you have, and it too will pass. 4. Meditate on impermanence. Sit in meditation and reflect on the changes in your body, mind, and surroundings. For example, notice your breath. Each inhale and exhale comes and goes, never the same. This is a profound lesson on impermanence. 5. Reduce attachment. Understanding that everything is impermanent helps you let go of clinging to possessions, fame, or relationships. Instead, you learn to appreciate them without relying on them for happiness. Challenges and how to overcome them when practicing impermanence. 1. Fear of loss. Many people feel insecure when contemplating impermanence, especially when facing loss or death. Instead of fearing it, view impermanence as a reminder to live more fully. 2. Difficulty letting go of the past. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting, it means accepting that something is over and no longer controls your present. Remind yourself that everything has its time. 3. Facing unwanted changes. Change often brings feelings of instability. Remember that unpleasant changes will also pass, just like everything else. Impermanence, the gateway to freedom. The Buddha once said, "All conditioned things are impermanent." Understanding this, one overcomes suffering. Impermanence is not just a truth to understand but a way of living. When you accept impermanence, you no longer cling to things that cannot last. You live more fully, appreciate the present, and find freedom in your heart. Begin to see life through the lens of impermanence. Doing so, you will no longer fear change but instead embrace it with peace and contentment. Conclusion. Buddhist teachings offer profound and practical lessons that help us find happiness and inner peace in a constantly changing world. From understanding impermanence, practicing mindfulness, embracing contentment, to cultivating compassion and learning to let go, each principle serves as a key to unlocking a more meaningful life. Happiness does not come from external things but from how we perceive ourselves and the world around us. When we accept that everything changes, live in the present moment, let go of expectations, and appreciate what we have, our minds are freed from worries and sorrows. Remember, even small actions like focusing on your breath, treating others with compassion, or being content with what you have can lead to significant transformation. These values not only help us overcome challenges but also form the foundation for a peaceful and fulfilling life. Apply these principles to your daily life, so that each day becomes an opportunity to live more fully, understand yourself better, and discover true happiness. The Buddha once said, "Happiness is not a destination but the journey we walk upon." So, walk this path with an open heart and a peaceful mind. The teachings of Buddhism will always serve as a guiding light, leading you toward happiness and the deeper meaning of life. Thank you for taking the time to watch today's video. We hope these insights into Buddhist teachings have brought you valuable lessons and helped you find happiness and inner peace in your life. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like and share to spread these values to more people. Share your thoughts and questions in the comments section, as we would love to hear from you. And don't forget to subscribe to the Life Lessons channel so you never miss out on our latest videos. Wishing you peace, happiness, and inner strength always. See you in the next video.